In order to do that, what you're going to have to do is create situations in your life and just walk into uncharted territories and become the person who can be masterful at the skill set that's going to get you to where it is you want to go. But today we are talking about how to elevate our potential, becoming by adding risk to our lives so that we can get outside of our comfort zone and begin to have geometrical growth as it relates to our progress. So if you are excited, I'm excited. So what I did is I created a program, and the program is called Organic Purpose Path. Organic Purpose Path. And it's a 6-module program. So what I'm going to be sharing with you today is I took 10 elements from that program to share with you. So I hope all of my note takers in the house, you got your pen and pad ready, because we getting ready to get it on. Y'all ready? If y'all ready, can I get some fire in the chat? Like, yes, fire. Are ready for Dr. Marnita on fire to show up today?
On fire, yes.
Yes. So, number one, the first thing that I want to share with you about becoming a higher level of yourself is, one, to find a community. Community is so important. It's important because oftentimes we think that we use our willpower to overcome obstacles in our life, and willpower doesn't get you there all the time. You have to find and create an environment, whether that be an environment of people, an environment of context, an environment of high stress environment, which allows you to do things more, to focus, to have laser focus on what it is you're doing, or a high recovery environment. So community, creating your environment such that you are more intentional about elevating the potential around what it is that you want to do. Decide where it is you want to go and surround yourself with things that's going to allow you to elevate your potential in order to do that. The things that you want to have, you want to be able to kind of like reverse engineer that. So don't think in terms of what you think you want. Think in terms of what it is you know that you're trying to get to. What is it that you know that you want? And re-engineer that, reverse engineer that, so that you can begin to create tasks around moving in that direction. Having conversations with people who can help you get there. Oftentimes, we are trying to do these things all by ourselves. And when we try to do the things all by ourselves, we are more focused on the how to do these things. But if we can create more connections with people who know the how and integrate ourselves with their environments, then our lives become a lot easier. So the first element in becoming a higher level person is finding the right community. Look for people who are doing the things that you want to do and follow them. Whoever is in your environment who is not getting the results that you want to get in your life, don't do what they do. You have to limit. I'm not saying that you have to erase them from your space, your sphere of being, but you do have to limit the you have to limit the amount of interaction you have with them, because they influence you to become an average of who they are. And no amount of willpower that you have to overcome that obstacle is going to get you to where you want to be. Your environment is directly influenced by the things that you are striving towards. Your environment is directly influenced by the things that you are striving towards. So if you want to be more confident, you have to create an environment that's going to allow you to struggle in a certain particular skill set, a certain area that's going to increase or put you at a certain risk level in order for you to achieve that particular skill set at its highest level. Ultimately, you want that skill set. I think it was Michelle who said, I've become too comfortable at some things that I'm doing, and I want to know how to get out of my comfort zone to become more risky in what it is that I'm doing. In order to do that, what you're going to have to do is create situations in your life and just walk into uncharted territories and become the person who can be masterful at the skill set that's going to get you to where it is you want to go. And sometimes when I share this with people in the group, they say, well, how do I do that? You can't just read about it. You can't just listen to audio around it. You have to begin to do it. And when you begin to do it, it's funny how this happens, because when you begin to do it, certain resources will begin to unfold into your path that allow you to become better at that skill set or that thing that it is you're trying to do. And this element of becoming more risky is, and this is a very important one, is to have a high recovery environment also. Because my best ideas have come from times when I have allowed myself to restore, rest, and recover. If you don't give yourself those spaces to restore, rest, and recover, then you can't be as creative as your potential will allow. And it says that most people in the world are only using 0.5% of their potential. I read that somewhere. Society has trained us to rely or default on systems that does not benefit us. And we have to constantly align ourselves with our own peak state experience. Well, Dr. Marnita, what is a peak state experience? A peak state experience is an experience where you immerse yourself into a learning, an environment of learning, growth, connection, rest, and high recovery. You're constantly learning, you're constantly growing, you're constantly connecting, you're constantly getting the rest that your body needs, and you're constantly recovering. And the best time of day to do this peak state experience is, guess what time of day?
I'm going to say really early.
Really early, before you even start. Early is relative for some people, because
4 a.m. is what I've seen before.
Right. So early is relative for most people, just depending on where their highest zone of energy is falling, because our schedules are so different. So if you can evaluate what time of day, because we only have 24 hours, what time within that 24 hours is our highest state of energy, That's when we want to establish our peak state before we move into the rest of our day. Hello, I am Dr. Marnita on fire from P3 Purposepreneur TV. Thank you for stopping by our channel today, and I hope you enjoyed this conversation. If so, like, subscribe, share, and leave a purposeful comment. Again, from P3 Purposepreneur TV, we're purposepreneurs